YouTube, what's going on, y'all? What's good? How's everybody feeling? I don't know why I'm coming on here smirking today. I don't know why I'm coming on here smirking. I don't know what's wrong. I guess I just came on here for I noticed when I came on the camera, I was cheesing. Like, what am I cheesing? Where's my water at? Papi! But yes, y'all, we back at it. Like I said, I think I said I did a short the day before yesterday, and I had said I was going Abra la puerta, papi.
Yeah.
Go get my water bottle.
What?
I think it's in the over there in the living room. Thank you. But I think I had posted a story, not a story. I'm thinking of some on IG. I think I had posted a YouTube short talking about books for better living. Today we got The Psychology of Money. I love how they did the artwork on that. First of all, shouts out to whoever did the artwork for this cover, man. If you're an artist, if you're an author and you know the importance and the work that goes behind this. So shouts out to all those authors that do their own art for their own book covers. Like I think that's the thing about being self-published is that you have, it's like, I guess I need to do a video about that, like the pros and cons of self-publishing. But I think it's a pro and can be a con, but a pro as in
Where is it?
don't contar.
Where is it?
Oh no.
It's right
I'm about to say, is it not over there? It's probably by the light. Yeah, get it for me. I just don't want to go behind the camera and get it. Gracias, no more. But yeah, like I think that it's so neat that when you're a self-publisher, you can actually take the time to go into the details that you have to make your book become what you want it to be. You can show your expressive creativity through the book cover. So shouts out to whoever did this. I don't know if Morgan Housel, I think that's how you say his name. I don't know if Morgan Housel did the artwork for this cover, but see if they say. Who's the HH? I don't know what publishing house that is. Harriman House Ltd. So that's the publishing house. So my publishing house, which is mine, is 1888 House. That is the name of my publishing company. But yes, we about to do The Psychology of Money and how this book changed my life. So if y'all tuning in for the first time, y'all will understand that my BookTube book reviews, it's not like the other book reviews that I've seen majority. I'm sure I'm not the only person doing what I'm doing. I'm definitely old enough and wise enough to know that there's nothing new under the sun. But it's not about the what, but it's more or less about the how. So I believe so far I haven't seen anybody giving the same type of details. I love how that light just hits off the camera. I hope that's not annoying, y'all. I don't know, I'm being extra goofy tonight, y'all. Forgive me. I am goofy in life. I have to really be goofy because I have such a serious exterior because it shows how focused I am in life. So I'm serious in life for real, because just my goals and who I am and the things that I want to do in life and just what I've been through. But it's really just a reflection of how focused I am. So if you're ever in a line, you get to know me, you see me in life, I have that serious face because I am fucking serious. Don't get it twisted, corkscrew twisted at all, for real. But I am just focused, I love being goofy. Gotta have that balance, man. A little bit of tiny Libra dust in me understands that balance. Yeah. Shouts out to my Libras. I couldn't be a full-blown Libra, man. Like I said, them air signs are just too all over the place for me. But I got love for y'all. But yes, so if you've never tapped in on my channel and seen my book reviews, or they're called Books for Better Living, my book testimonies, I go in pretty much to my favorite chapters or favorite parts of the book and how they affected me the most. And that's it. And I just harp on those and I go down a rabbit hole on those topics and that's it. I'm not about to tell you about the book in depth of what each chapter was, a synopsis of what it was about. Like, you will get enough idea of what the book is about me when I tell you the things that I feel is important and the things that I like about it the most. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying, we just rocking like that. But yes, this is one of those personal, what is actually the genre that this is labeled under? Finance, investing, smart thinking. I didn't even know that was a genre. Is it genre or genre? I think it's genre, but I don't know. I didn't know smart thinking was actually a genre. Damn, it's only $14.99 in pounds, $18.99 in US dollars. Interesting. But yes, this is one of those books that if you are into personal finance, if you just want to start to setting yourself in the right mentality of thinking about money and the rules of money and the parameters that you should set for your mind. And I say parameters that you should set for your mind because this book literally has concepts in it to where it's like your mind should not go beyond this parameter because it keeps you within the realm of what people who are successful with money and smart with money do. And they live in this circle and they live in this place and they live in this domain. And this book is one of those things that will set those parameters for you. So if you about that life, then, you know what I'm saying, tap in with it. The psychology of money. So let's dig into it, man. I don't want to spend too much time harping, but y'all know for my videos, I like to just, you know, kick the shits, as they say. So first of all, when did I get this book? I always like to think of a history or a backstory behind how I came upon this book. How did I find out about this book? I ain't gonna cap. Most of the ways I came about books is literally living in the bookstore. A few of the books that I read, I found through just like YouTube and personal finance, people who do personal finance type channels, and they'll say, these books changed my life. 10 books you should read if you're into personal finance. 10 books you should read if you want to become wealthy. So that's probably like 30% of how I came about learning about certain books and learning about the books that I have in relation to finance or in relation to anything. Because I could say the same thing when it comes to personal development channels as well. Let me get this. What that paper? Hold on, let me get this paper real quick, y'all. I can say that same thing about how I came to learning personal development books, personal growth books, not personal finance. Excuse me, I think I said personal finance, but I meant personal growth, personal development books. The exact same way. 30% going online. These are the books that are help your mind, books for growing, listening to people who literally changed my life. And I can never, like, no matter how far I get in life and the level of interviews I'll have as my success grows, I will always pay homage to the one and only, the late, great, probably quadruple OG, Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn. If you know, you know. But yes, most of these books that I learned about, and I think even this one, were just spending countless hours in the library, dog. Going, like I told you my story before, going to the bookstore, and when I couldn't afford to purchase the books that I wanted, and my mind was in the place to where I was ready to really attack and love myself and take care of myself first and put myself first and put self-care first and put who I am in perspective to everybody else and how the actions that I make affects other people. Before I got on that lane and I was just stuck in it and I was just Scotty beam me up, stuck in that, I would go into the bookstores and read the books as much as I could with the allocated amount of time that I had. So if I had like an hour to just use in that moment, I'll take that hour and go and do it. Oh yeah, I know y'all sit in the background. I gotta tap in with that. Read until you're rich. Then I got a neon light that says, right. Oh, that's mad bright, y'all. My fault. Then I got a neon light that says, where's my neon light say? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, then I got a neon light that says, write until you're wealthy. So the goal is to read until you're rich and then write until you're wealthy. I'm gonna let it go black next time, y'all, because this screen bright as hell. Matter of fact, I just do that. Fuck it. I'm up here doing it the hard way. But yes, we're gonna do it like that. And I hope that wasn't too bad. Looking at the back of my goddamn neck, need to get a haircut. I'm gonna hit my barber on Friday though. Not too much on the back of my neck, as my daughter would say. She be having me saying that. I don't need to be having that type of stuff because I'm so older and I be feeling like that's what girls be saying. But my daughter just every so often catch me up like, mommy, not too much, just because she said messing around with her. But yeah, countless hours, y'all. Countless hours in the bookstore. Just going back, really showing my dedication. So this is definitely how I came upon this book. Just seeing it and being like, okay, Psychology of Money. Like they won me over. They won me over with the title. They won me over with the way the book looks. I love the black and white. The black and white with the little dash of green that's always been my sauce. Like before houses, I don't know if y'all, wherever y'all at, but like black and white houses is a thing, you know, like everywhere you go in America for like the last 5-6 years, black and white houses was a thing. I don't even like it no more because I feel like I liked it when a lot of people weren't really into it, but like black and white, it's always been my thing. Black and white with a splash of color. So I'm like, I'm all for that. But yes, they got me with that. The aesthetics of the book got me. So that's a little backstory about the book. I'm sure it was me going into like Barnes and Noble or half off bookstores. I know I didn't see this book in the thrift store. Yeah, certain books just don't make it to the thrift store. I would be super surprised. Now I'm like going to challenge y'all like to go to the Goodwill or go to like some thrift store or something and see if I can find this book. I promise you, if I remember, I'm getting up there in age, y'all. I know I'm still young, but if I remember, my memory's impeccable. So if I remember, I would definitely make another video about me finding this book in a bookstore. Like, yeah, I spoke too soon. But yeah, let's dive in, man. Enough Palo Santo in the air. We got my little Palo Santo de Peru in the air. Okay, cool. So the main chapters in this book that really like changed my life, y'all, is, so here's the contents. It's always weird doing this, but I just like doing it because it's like all backwards and stuff, and you really can't see that. Can y'all see that? Getting close. So the contents that changed my life is no one is crazy. So no one's crazy, and it's actually the first chapter. It talks about just how no one is crazy about the concept of money. Like the concept of money and where it came from and how it's used and how it's a ledger for transactions and stored value and value stored within this paper that we have, or now digits. You don't even see it. And banks lend the money that you deposit before it even sits there for a day and it's already lent out to somebody else. And the concept that no one's crazy and most people don't know what money is and how to work with money, because the concept of money in the modern day society is very new, you know, and that is the big part of why people have issues controlling their money right now, having good money mentality and having good financial literacy and being able to understand how it relates to your overall health and wellness and how it relates to emotions, because the concept of saving and finance is such a new concept. And they stated facts like in 1940, the first Social Security check was cash. 1940, y'all, that wasn't even a long time ago. Then another fact was that 1998, that's when the 1970, excuse me. In 1978, that's when the 401k was introduced. So 401k, retirement plans, all the things that everybody be seeing, most likely if you have a job of some caliber and they can afford to give benefits out and they're progressing and profitable enough, or not even profitable, but strong enough to offer that benefit, then I'm sure you've probably seen the 401k opt-in, company matching. That concept, y'all, has only been around since 1978. So, you know what I mean? 1978, y'all do the math. So that's like what? 78, I was born in 86, 2, 8 years. So that's 46 years. It's only 46 years. So like, that is not a long time. 46 years for a retirement concept to be around And you wonder why so many people aren't like, oh, I'm going to jump into 401k. I'm going to learn about stocks and investing. Because it's only been around for 46 years. Humans in writing has been around for 6,000. That number don't be compared. And another factor, Roth IRA, which is the Roth individual retirement account, which is an account for people who aren't going through the 401k and they're just controlling their own retirement account. I won't go to the details of the Roth IRA. You can Google it, go to YouTube, plenty of stuff out there about it. But the Roth IRA was only made, and the first Roth IRA was made in 1998. So that's mad young. You know what I'm saying? That's mad young. That's 26 years. So you got 26 years, you got 46 years. That's not long at all. 80 years for Social Security card, for Social Security. So that's what this part of the book is about. And what it made me think about is it made me realize, like, wow, one, we have to put way more energy into saving and finance and being able to understand how important financial literacy is and being able to understand, like, how, well, first of all, let me stop and say this. Thank God we're in a technological era and technological era, and it's easy accessible. Knowledge is easy accessible and readily available. So we can like kind of straighten that learning curve, that if we let's say we push those numbers back, right? And let's say if this, like, Social Security was invented in 1870 and the 401k was invented in 1920 and then the Roth IRA was invented in 1948, then yeah, they would have a lot more time to learn about those things because it pushed back farther and there was more time between that time and the present day. But the amount of time with technology to help them speed that process up will be really small, because in the 40s they didn't have computers, 50s, 60s, 70s they just started coming out with Apple and Mac, and IBM and HP was really started, like, okay, we actually got some, we ain't even making no noise, we got to whisper. So we actually have the ability to learn all of these things a lot faster, but the time period between when there wasn't technology that can help straighten the learning curves to when there is technology is so small that we still have to play catch up when it comes to learning these concepts. So that first chapter, no one's crazy, they're saying, like, no one's crazy, but like, no one's crazy, and you are just like everybody else because you just, like, don't know how to use money. You don't know how to, like, make sure you become wealthy. You don't know about financing budgets. You don't know about investments. You don't know about liabilities versus assets. You don't know about financial statements. You don't know about how to do your net worth calculation. Like, all of these different things. You don't know about retirement plans. You don't know about asset protection. You don't know about asset allocation. All of these different terms are so new because the whole concept of finance is so new. So that was one of the main things that changed my life. And when I started thinking about that, I was like, okay, like, what would you do, or how did you feel when you didn't know something in class, or like if you was the new kid or something? Like, I moved around a lot growing up, you know what I'm saying? That's why I told y'all when I had that is the Atlanta rap empire falling, go tap in with that one. You know, I talked about just all the rappers from Atlanta dying, and I had shared, you know, that this city is near and dear to me because I grew up and lived all over, like, not just in the zone 1, zone 6. I'm in zone 6 right now. Like, shoot, if you know what I'm saying, if you know, you really know, I'm pretty much in Kirkwood right now, Little Mexico. But that's what Future and I'm gonna be calling it. But that is near and dear to my heart. So I had dropped something about that on there, and I was talking about how over time, you know, I've got to see different places and see different things and lived over different places, and, you know, able to have different experiences and stuff. So yeah, definitely go check in with that video if y'all didn't. But yeah, it's like, to me, it made me change and sit back, because when I was growing up and moving all over those different places, I was like the new kid all the time. So I was playing catch up. So imagine how you felt when you were playing catch up in any situation where you were new to a job and it was already established you were a new kid. You felt like you was like, I gotta get acclimated with everybody. I gotta get orientated so you can just feel comfortable. Like, so you can just feel a part of what's going on because it's been going on before you got there. And that's how I feel about finance when I read this. And because I was like, I know But like you really don't know until you know numbers. Like somebody can be like, oh yeah, man, you look like you lost some weight. But then if you go on the scale and you see that you lost 30 pounds, you like, that's all you're gonna be thinking about. Like, dang, I lost 30 pounds. I can really see it now. So numbers don't lie, but numbers also reveal the truth because they don't lie. So when I started thinking about it like that, I was like, wow, he's giving me these dates of when the Roth IRA was invented. He's giving me these dates when the Social Security was invented. He's giving me these dates when the 401k was invented. Giving me dates from when, Turkey was the first real, well, with the present day Turkey. But I think what they called it back then was Lydia. And this was like 800 BC when currency was first created way back then. It's like you giving me all of these dates. And it's making me think like, where do I stand at my age, in my time period? And how much time do I have to grow? Or should I say, how much time do I have to grow? And yeah, I said it right. How much time do I have to grow until I'm no longer alive? And how much can I learn before that time is over with? But then it's not also necessarily about how much you learn. It's about that assimilation, as in receiving. It's the assimilation of information, and it's the application of information. And then what I like to say, another step up, is the duplication. So assimilation is reading, taking this book in. Okay, I read it. Now I need to do something with it. That's the application. Okay, I show how to do it. Now, if you're really great, you can duplicate it. Now let me go show my kids how to do it. Let me go show, I don't have a girl, but if I had a girl, let me go show my shorty how to do it. Let me show my mama. Let me show you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, how much time do you have to make all of those tasks happen? Like, how long would it take you to assimilate some new knowledge? Hold on. First of all, let me pause. Like, how long would it take you to assimilate some new knowledge that's not even that old? And that's the part that's like mind blown. Like, whoa, first of all, we're still learning about it. Like, society in general is still learning about this. And if you're late to something that's fresh, it could be good or bad, or it could be, it's two sides of the same coin, honestly, because it's like, well, you can have some say so in how this thing is shaped because it's not fully molded into something yet. Or you can look at it as like, well, because it is so new, you have to get on it right now because it's changing so fast. You might get left behind because the new things already, you're missing the new foundation and the new building blocks that's on it if you're not a part of it. So you're either part of it or you just getting left behind, pretty much. So yes, that's why that one stood out the most to me. No one's crazy. It's like, dang, I'm not crazy. And since I'm not crazy, I have to get on it. Exact same way I was saying with the example of like being the new person. Like, if I'm new to something and something's not that old, that I really need to learn about it. Because if I wait too long, then what was new once upon a time will be old, and then there'll be something else new and I'll really be behind. And that's how it's becoming. That's why the rich people are getting richer, because the rich people are no longer spending their muscles and their time to make money. They're just thinking about something, they're creating something, and then they're putting it out there. They're letting people react to it, and they're even getting money off of the reactions of people. Because a person can say they don't like something, that's still a reaction. Because they may say, well, you might not like it, but you talking about it, so let me see what's up. So yes, man, no one's crazy. Super, super powerful. Another part that got me, which, I mean, I won't harp on too much. I think a lot of books talk about this, but I think the perspective of how they put it is really a great way to look at it, is the part that talks about, a lot of y'all ain't gonna be able to see it. It's pretty much just says confounding compounding. And what got me about that is, you hear compound interest, you got to start young, and compound interest, it's not 1 + 1, it's, 1 to the 1 power, it's not 2 + 2, it's 2 times 2, so it's not addition, but it's actually multiplication. Because if you do 2 times 2 times, if you do 2 + 2 + 2, it's 6, but if you do 2 times 2 times 2, then it's 8. That's even more. So you got more because you changed what it was. It's exponential. And that's what compound interest is. It just builds on top of each other. And like, that's a concept that most people talk about. And that one changed my life. But what I think got me the most about this in this book is the starting early part. Like, just having some skin in the game, whether it's real estate, whether it's investing in a stock market, whether it's one single stock, which I wouldn't suggest do. If you were somebody that was doing the stock, I would definitely say get you an SPF, or not, it should be S&P 500, to get you an ETF. I'd mix both of them. I said SPF. I'm talking about going on the beach. Look, I need to be at the beach, y'all. I'm talking about SPF. Boy, what am I talking about? But yes, I would definitely put into an SP 500, something of that sort. Vanguard, there's a lot of different ones you can go into. get yourself in dollars cost average and DCA, dollars cost average. That's what I would definitely do. So yeah, the financial person in me would not tolerate or allow myself to just say, if you're going to start off, buy one single stock. But whether that's buying a stock or buying an ETF or getting into the real estate, getting in early is the part that really affected me the most about this book, because it made me think. It's like you can think two ways. You can like, oh man, I can't get in early because I'm already too late. Or you can look at the present being the early that you would say is too late if you would fast forward in 20 years. So you can be like, well, I'm already 30 and I'm already 30. I don't want to start now because I'm already too late. It's already too late. Or you can look and be like, well, you know what? If I'm 30, if I don't start now and I'm 40, I'll look back in 30 and be like, damn, I was 10 years younger. I should have just started then. So it's like it's not over till it's over. And it's literally not over till they drop you on the ground or cremate you or whatever, or throw you in the ocean or whatever. However you decide to go, it ain't over till that time period comes. So, and of course your strategy is going to change. Another finance investor side of myself is about to say this and kind of go on a tangent. Not really a tangent, but look, quick little side note. But, your strategy will change the older you get, especially depending on, your current financial situation. So your current financial situation factored in with your time horizon, as in how much time you have between when you actually want to see a certain result happen, mostly in finances and investments. So that was the part that really got me. It's kind of like, bro, starting now is right. Like starting young is starting now in my mind. Like, so if you think start young, just think starting young as starting now, y'all. Don't think of starting young as like, oh, I'm 50 years old, man. It's too young for me to start. No, just fuck that. Just scrap out the goddamn too young and just put in the right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad, not too young, but put in the right now and scrap out the while you're young. So instead of saying while you're young, just say right now. It's less words, less syllables, less time. So instead of saying, oh man, do it while you're young, just say, oh, do it right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the part that got me the most. And it made me feel even more excited about compound interest, because it's like, well, if I do it right now, then the compound interest is going to do the rest. It's going to do the rest, like especially if you, let's say something as simple as stock market. There's countless hours of data that's been calculated and documented over decades since the beginning of the stock market, that if you wait over a 20-year period, you're going to at least get 8 to 10% return on your investment. So if you want to think about, am I going to be too old? Shit, it ain't got to be about you all the time. If you're 50 and you feel like you can become a millionaire and your family ain't never seen $1 million, then go ahead and get that $1 million, you know what I'm saying, and have it by the time you're 70, and you might be able to live for another 10 years, enjoy your millions for 10, and then you'll have $1 million to pass on to your kids. And if you do it properly, they won't be paying no estate taxes. So I think that doing it while you're young needs to definitely be scratched out with doing it now. And that's the part that really, really got me. It's like, as y'all youngsters say, some girls be saying that part. No. Y'all be funny. I love it though. Y'all get there. Everybody get it. I tell my daughter, man, turn up, do your thing, man. Turn up. I love y'all lingo. I love what y'all coming up with. It's y'all time. You know what I mean? I had my time. My folks had my time. That's my time to be the OG. It's my time to be Unc now. You know what I mean? So I love all aspects of it. But yes, that part, like, don't even worry about doing it while you're young. If you're young, then do it right now and do it while you're young. But if you consider yourself to not be young and you 45, 50, you 55, 60, then just do it now. And I think that's the most important part about that, y'all. So I think that point got across. I ain't about to harp on that. I think the last part, what was the last part of this book? Sorry, y'all. What was the last part of this book that really got me? I think it's right here. Let me look at it real quick. I think page 55. Oh, yes. Yes, this is it right here. Yeah, this is it right here. Yeah, so this part is, it says, this chapter, that the last chapter that I think stood out the most to me was like, it says getting wealthy versus staying wealthy. And this part is important because it teaches me, or it taught me, and not even taught, but it, what's the best word to say? It really affirmed. I was gonna say validated, but I ain't no validation in this. You know, some things are validating, but this was not one thing that validated me. But it affirmed the concept that I already had in my mind. And I would tell homies, like, when it comes to anything, because nothing is truly yours, you know, and if you believe in metaphysics like me and spirituality and all of that stuff, then you realize everything that you get is pretty much loaned to you from the universe, even your kids. So if nothing is truly yours, then the secret is to keep it and keep it as long as you can till it's time to let it go and relinquish it back to where it came from. And getting wealthy versus staying wealthy talks about how they're just saying their take on the secret is to keep it, you know, and being able to say, you can make money, but what are the things that you need to do to be able to keep money, you know? And a lot of times being paranoid and being like a healthy amount of fear will keep the money, you know? So it's like, a little risk is involved in getting the money, but a lot of rationality is involved in keeping the money. And that part right there, it really got me, because it's like, cool, if you took some risk to get it and you weighed the options and you determine how risk averse you are or you aren't, or you are or aren't, then once you get it, you can kind of fall back on that risk gauge or risk, you know, pressure, and just say, okay, it's all rationality now. Like, what do I need to do to be able to, like, keep myself from tipping over into the areas of risk to where I lose it all? And I think one of the quotes they said that was really good, let me see if I can find it, y'all. It was from the CEO of Sequoia. And if y'all know me, y'all know I love venture capitalism. And Sequoia is like the top venture capitalism firm that out there. Where is it at? But anyway, so he was saying they was interviewing the guy that was the CEO of Sequoia Capital, and he was saying, like, what do you do to keep going and staying alive and keeping a company growing for this many years when, you know, most people that were venture capitalists, they weren't able to stay for that many consecutive years with this amount of return on their investment, with this percentage, just to say it was like 11%, just to throw out an arbitrary number. And he was saying, well, what we do is we have a healthy amount of fear. Like, we just imagine what it would look like if our company was going out of business. And he was saying, we'll do anything that we have to stay in business. And I think if you look at life and you look at money like that, it's like when you're compounding and you're thinking about your future and you're thinking about the long term, the goal is to stay around long enough to be able to withstand the ups and downs. So, like, is your financial situation right now properly strategized and set up to where you can deal with this failure, that loss, this thing that you can't plan for, this thing that doesn't go right, this thing that goes left? Like, can you really stay in the game and be a part of all of those different peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows of life? And if you can give yourself enough room to be able to do that and stay in the game, then you're good. And I actually just mentioned a couple of different chapters. They mentioned, there's a couple chapters in here that kind of mention that same little concept. So beyond that, let me just give you all that. So Room for Error is another one that was talking about that. Room for Error was another one, but just telling you about giving yourself a healthy amount of a margin of safety to just, you know what, if something bad happened, then I'm okay. If the risk in this is this much over here, I can take that risk because I have this much of a gap on this end to make up for any losses that happen. And if you can think and live your life like that and set your finances in order to where you can be like, you know what, I'm going to make this play. But if this play doesn't go 100% how I want it to go, and it only goes 70%, and that 30% is a loss, that's okay. I got enough to fall back on. And a lot of us don't give ourselves that enough margin of safety in anything. And you can tell people that's like that. People that are rushing everywhere they go, are late, just don't have their stuff together, their house is all over the place. They're not giving themselves no margin of safety in anywhere in their life, because it's like you're always having to pick up from the thing that you let fall behind. And it's one thing, don't quote me, but shouts out to Myron Golden, man. He's become a very big influence on my life in the last recent months. And he was saying that success requires intention, but like failure requires neglect for you. So for you to succeed, you have to have intention and actively be intended on succeeding. But for you to like fail and stuff doesn't go right at all, you just gotta neglect and say, fuck it. Like, if you want to smell bad, then just neglect taking a shower. But if you want to smell good, then you actually have to go in, wipe under your arms, wipe your nose, wipe your neck, wipe behind your ears, wipe your belly button, the whole body. You have to be intentional. And I think a lot of us aren't intentional with the margin of safety that we have or should have for our lives, to be able to stay in the game for a long time and make sure that we're keeping the money that we're making and making sure that the money that we have is not getting eaten up by things that we really can't plan for and things that come from the left and come to the right. And that's why there's certain things that set in place. So I'll say 10% of everything that you get. Once you get to $10,000, $2,000, or $3,000, or for some people, once you get to $1,000, make sure you pay down all your debt. Once you pay down all your debt, start adding a certain amount of money back into your savings every so often. Once you get there, 10% of your money should go into certain investments that give you a certain amount of return on your investment. So it's all of these little levers that you need to pull and all these different things that set you up to be able to live once again inside of this domain that people who are financially literate and wealthy have. Me, I'm not nowhere near wealthy. I'm still to the level to where I'm trying to get to a financial status to where I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? I don't got to work. You know what I'm saying? I have great employment. I don't like saying job because I don't like the acronym that I made up for one of these books that I will be publishing in my long list of 2 published books that I have to write the books, to be written books. But I would say I have great employment for a great structured company, and it very well. I get paid very well. But to me, it's like freedom is the goal. So even me, I'm taking the advice that I'm giving. And the only reason why I feel like I can stand on this and people can take my advice is because I live and breathe and like, bro, I live and breathe and eat this shit, So like, I'm a man of my word. If I'm saying these stocks, don't do this with stocks, do that with stocks, do this with your savings account, do this with your budget financing, do this every day, read this book, it's because I'm doing it myself. So books for better living, y'all. Literally, these are books for a better life. If you want a better life, listen. I'm gonna do this just for the shorts. So y'all gonna see this in the short. This was gonna be in the shorts. Look, y'all, we doing books for better living, y'all. We doing books for better living. And if you want to have a better life and live better, this is one of the books for better living. The last book we did was The Richest Man in Babylon. I don't know what will be next, but I'm always excited, and hopefully y'all can start getting excited with me about what we'll be tapping in with next. I'm giving y'all my testimony. Not my book review and what the book's about, but I'm giving y'all my testimony on how this book has made my life better. Books for better living, y'all. I appreciate y'all again. And y'all make sure y'all tap in because I'm going to continue to finish reading for Books in Bed, where I read out loud on YouTube a book that of my choice that I normally would read before going to sleep. So, but I have one for YouTube, Richest Man in Babylon. I've read that book so many times. I done heard on audiobook, but that was just the one that I wanted to choose to read in Books for Bed. And honestly, after I read that book, Books in Bed for YouTube, I'll read another book after that just for the books that I'm reading on my own. But yes, make sure y'all tap in on that. I did chapter 1 and chapter 2 already for Books in Bed, Richest Man in Babylon. I will be doing chapter 3 in the next couple of days. So y'all tap in with that. Show love. I show love. Show love. Show love. Show love, man. And not just necessarily to me, but just show love in general. Your life is so much better when you showing love, even if people don't show it back, y'all. You don't show love because you want love back. You show love because that's who you are and that's what you give to yourself. And love just emits from you, So like, subscribe, follow. I should have probably said all of that earlier, but man, I feel like this message is gonna get out because it's a message that people need to hear. And it's just the beginning. And la gente sabe las palabras. So everybody, tap in, man. One love for y'all. Stay well, be conscious, and remember to write your world into existence.